The Blackhawks, without Connor Bedard, lose 4-1 to Connor McDavid and the Oilers. We'll get to all of it next on CHGO Blackhawks. All right, here we are. CHGO Blackhawks, thanks for being with us. Again, Hawks lose 4-1 to the Edmonton Oilers. I'm Jay Zawaski. That's Greg Boysen. Sarah Fichter's here running the show tonight for Chloe, who is sick, and we are blaming her for getting Connor Bedard sick. How? We don't know. We're just going to do it anyway because it's fun.
They were hanging out earlier. I saw it.
Someone deleted the countdown out of this computer.
Chloe.
But yet I was the only one on this computer, so I don't know how that happened.
Oh,
Sounds like a Chloe issue.
Sounds like a Chloe issue.
You know, we should fire her. I know she just moved here from Denver, but I've seen enough. No, we hope Chloe feels better soon. We love Chloe. That's why we get to joke about Chloe. Thanks for being with us. Hit that like button for us. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube page as well. Lots to get to on this one. Early, you kind of had the first inkling. You heard a little birdie suggest that Connor Bedard might not play.
Yeah.
And then, maybe 10 minutes before the warm-ups, they announced Connor Bedard will not. Frank Saravalli actually announced Connor Bedard would miss today's game with an illness.
That peeved me a little bit. You can't send the text to the actual beat reporters there that this is happening.
Got to hook up your guy.
Whatever. But yes, Connor Bedard at morning skate. So part of the skate was hanging out in the locker room. Our guys, Gene Principe and Louis DeBrusque may have a long flight home because they were hanging out with Connor in the locker room after a morning skate. But yeah, it sucks, especially for everybody who bought these tickets to this game hoping for Connor. But they still did get a Connor versus Connor. It was Connor Murphy versus Connor Bedard, Connor McDavid.
Ingram.
Yeah, we got Connor Ingram too. All kinds of Connors. I mean, they're all over the place tonight. And but I mean, this team they just got him back. They know how to play without Connor Bedard. They know how to win without Connor Bedard. Yeah. They didn't play that way tonight. That was the problem.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't have a huge issue with the effort. I have an issue with some of the execution, and especially early on. And look, you're, I guess, emotionally dealing with like, oh, we thought Bedard was here and now he's not. We got to kind of regroup, and maybe that's a little bit of a shock to the system. But you got to be pros. You got to be ready to go from jump. And if you take away the first, part of the first period, it's pretty even. But to me, this was just a game of Edmonton, even though they've not gotten off to the start they'd hoped, just like they have for the last 2 years and gone to the Cup final. They're a horse. They're a wagon. That is a team that is loaded with superstars, and they were just the more talented team. Were there some frustrations for me from the Hawks? Yes, of course, there were a few. But overall, if they play this way most nights, they're probably going to have a positive result. It just felt like a team that was completely overmatched. And every time they made a mistake, it felt like it would end up with this extended shift from the Oilers, who were just passing around like the Globetrotters.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that, but the execution was piss poor tonight for the first period. It got better as the game went on, but again, the Blackhawks found success after the holiday break without Bedard because they played simple north-south hockey, and they took when the shot was there, they took it. They didn't do that tonight. There was so many times that guys passed up shooting opportunities to make an extra pass. Tyler Bertuzzi was guilty of it earlier. And then they just didn't bury the chances. When they did get the chances, they got a ton of good looks in front. Landon Slaggert and Ilya Mikheyev had very first shift right in front of net. Neither of them could bury it on future Hall of Famer Connor Ingram. And, Andre Burakovsky had a golden opportunity at the early second, right after the Oilers score that, crummy goal in the first seconds of the second period. He gets a great chance off a turnover, doesn't bury it. But, there were some things definitely that are positive takeaways from this game. I was just disappointed. As you said, the effort was fine. It wasn't from a lack of effort, but this team should be better than just, hey, we tried hard, but we just lost to a better team, because they've beaten better teams than the Oilers.
Yeah,
they beat the Dallas Stars twice.
They have, and I wonder too, like, if you have a situation where you're kind of pinned in and you're struggling to get the puck back, you somehow feel like you have to be perfect at the other end. If I see Ryan Donato do his Jaromir Jagr impersonation again, where he stick handles for no reason,
that looked a lot more like Colin Blackwell.
I am going to lose my freaking mind. It's a 2-on-1 with Nick Foligno and Ryan Donato. Foligno hustles, gets the puck right to Donato. He tries to deke Connor Ingram and then toe picks and eats it, falls down. The puck rolls behind the net. He rolls behind the net. And the Hawks, with what was probably their best scoring chance of the first period, doesn't even result in a shot. There's another moment in the second period where he's got an opportunity to shoot right in front of the net, and he tries to settle it down perfectly. Man, shoot the puck. I know you scored 31 goals last year, and I really like the way Ryan Donato plays, but I mean this with all due respect. 31 goals last year was smoke and mirrors. It was luck. It was a high shooting percentage. You're a 21 goal scorer. Play like that. Play the way you played to get you to 31 goals. I'm just done with the dipsy-do stick handle trying to go through the legs. I feel like 2 or 3 times a game Ryan Donato was doing it. And in a game that was basically 2-0 the whole game, those matter. Those limited opportunities you're getting matter, and you have to at least advance the puck towards the net. You cannot toe pick and fall down or turn it over. And that's what he's been doing time and time again by trying to make something simple overcomplicated.
Well, that's the thing. You got a 2-on-1 with a guy like Nick Foligno. You don't need to try and deke the goalie. Shoot it, and Foligno's going to crash the net and get a rebound. Just get it on the net.
Right. That's it. I mean, it's just
simple. Keep it simple. That's what was so successful for the first 6 games out of the break. And they forgot all about that. It was the frustrating thing to me. Ryan Donato scored 31 goals last year. Why? Because he had a career high 182 shots.
There you go.
He shot the puck.
Sometimes shoot puck, sometimes puck go in.
He's on pace for roughly a little less than 150 this year. So he's shooting. I mean, he's playing less, but his shooting percentage hasn't dropped that much. He was 17% last year. He's 13.2 this year. That's still pretty high.
Yeah.
So maybe shoot it more. Those are the things that were frustrating.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, is it this mindset of, all right, we haven't gotten good looks, so when we get a decent look, it's got to be a perfect look for us to even take the chance. Whereas the context, right? We talk about this all the time. The context is, it's Connor Ingram. You're not getting a lot of shots. It's a 2-on-1. Nick Foligno's right there busting his ass to get to the net. Put it on there and see what happens. Instead, you're falling down and rolling behind the net with the puck. It's just aggravating. Yeah. Is that the game? No. But if that one goes in, then when Tyler Bertuzzi's goal goes in, it's 2-2. And then there's not an empty net for the Hawks. Then Evan Bouchard does not shoot a 7,000, doesn't throw a Caleb Williams bomb at the empty net. It's just, I don't know. It's those little things that aggravate that have been kind of the thorn in the side of this club for the last few years. This just refusal to simplify things. And they finally got around to it in the second and third, but by then,
well, it was more
2-0
towards the end of the second period. The beginning of the second period wasn't great. When you look at the possession numbers at 5-on-5, Blackhawks had a 41.18 Corsi for in the first, 41.46 in the second. Not much better. They had more shot attempts, but they also gave up more shot attempts. And then the third period, they had a 66.67 Corsi because they were pressing, and the Oilers were just like, hey, go.
Score effects.
Yeah, they were just like, hey, come in our zone and don't shoot the puck all you want. We welcome it. But just a bad puck possession night. They again, during that hot streak, pre getting Bedard back, They were having extended zone time because they were playing simple. They were shooting. They were going for second and third chances. They were playing between the dots. They were playing down low, below the goal line. None of that tonight.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to verbalize this to you while we were watching the game, and I'm still kind of struggling with it. I feel like, considering how much of the time the puck was on the Oilers' stick versus the Hawks, significantly more in this game, I feel like the Hawks did a decent job limiting their crazy chances.
After the first period,
they had 20 high danger chances in this game after 11 in the first, so 5 in the second, 4 in the third. I think they were very, for them, except for the third, when, like you said, they're trying to attack, they're trying to take chances. You saw the defense lose a lot of its form because of that, and young guys making mistakes, of course. They did a pretty good job of sticks in lanes, strong on the puck. We saw some guys play with a little more physicality than usual. I'll say this. They did not look intimidated by the Oilers, which is good to see.
No, they just couldn't get the puck away from them.
Right.
They couldn't get the puck out of the zone all night long. They were getting hemmed in. And then there were just so many one and done possessions on the other end of the ice. You know, they barely had enough time to get to change lines before the puck was going back down the other way. And that was what we saw the first few games without Connor Bedard. And then after the holiday break, they figured it out. But they didn't do any of that tonight, at least not for the first half of the game. And, you know, a 2-0 lead against this Oiler team with the goaltending issues and the defensive issues they've had all season shouldn't feel insurmountable, but it kind of did.
Yeah.
They got that goal.
During a second, I was thinking 2-0 feels like 10-0.
Yeah, I mean, they got the Bertuzzi goal, and then, you know, the craziness happened afterwards. Hyman got a goal taken off, and you know, they had a couple chances to tie it, but couldn't get it done. But it was one of those where it was just like, man, it was too little too late. And let's face it, it wouldn't have been 2-1 in the third period if it wasn't for how great Spencer Knight was in the first period.
Yeah, he was outstanding. There was that one sequence where he made 3 saves within the span of like 10 seconds. And after the first 2, he was kind of dead to rights. And I'm like, oh, well, we know how this is going to end. And he somehow got a piece of the third one. And then the insane save on Podkolzin right in front.
No, that was Kapanen.
Was it?
The one right in the slot where he was wide open?
Yeah.
That was Kapanen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way, just an insane save to keep them in it.
It could have easily been. I mean, if that was Arvid Soderblom or even Drew Comezzo with his even coming off a shutout, if it was either of those two goalies, it's probably 3-4-0 after the first period, and then it is over. So kudos to Spencer Knight for keeping this game at least obtainable. You had a chance to force overtime and get a point because of what he did, and then they get that crazy long distance shorthanded goal, and then the fourth goal. That's
Wyatt Kaiser wants that one back for sure.
I don't know what Wyatt Kaiser's doing on that play, but again, it's 3-1 with a minute to go. Fine, but that's just, I don't know what he was thinking there.
Well, you saw him do it, and immediately, looks up at the ceiling like, oh my God, he knows better than that. That's a mistake that Wyatt Kaiser will not make frequently. But oh man, it was just, I guess after the empty netter, it hurts a little bit less because you're not going to score 2 in, what was it, 53 seconds at that point. But man, that is an uncharacteristic mistake. Exactly. Uncharacteristic mistake from Wyatt Kaiser. All right, we're going to hit the break zone for the first time. Make sure you hit that like button for us. Make sure you are subscribed. We'll make sure to get any super chats in as well. But before we hit the break zone, we got to tell you about our Game Day Men's Health Game Puck nominees. Better father, better husband, better man. Go to Game Day Men's Health. Visit GameDayCHGO.com to find locations closest to you. Our nominees today, Andre Burakovsky, who's put together a couple nice games in a row here. His final numbers, no points, played 20-35, 4 shots on goal, 9 shot attempts. So very involved offensively, couldn't dent a twine, but played well overall. We're going to give one to Tyler Bertuzzi. Picked up yet another goal, 2028 of ice time, 4 shots on goal, tied for the team high with Alex Vlasic and with Andre Burakovsky. And then, of course, Spencer Knight is going to get our final game puck nomination, 31 saves on 34 shots against. So get your votes in. We'll reveal the winner at the end of the show. We're also going to visit the frat house later on in the show as well. Back in 2 minutes on CHGO Blackhawks. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. With Bet365's early payout offer, you're a winner when your team goes up by 17 points with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. So download the app, use our code CHGO365 when you sign up. They get their 100% parlay boost. Double your winnings on parlays with Bet365's 100% parlay boost. So download the app, use the code CHGO365 when you sign up. When you do, if you're a new customer, you're going to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. So again, sign up, use our code CHGO365, deposit $10, place a bet for $5 to get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses, and use those bonus bets on futures, spreads, totals, player props, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER. And a reminder, this offer is in-app only. And what if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even know you have them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that lets you stream the game even when the whole family's online. All of your devices working together in perfect harmony, just like your family, for 5 whole years. And the best part, there's no annual contracts, no hidden fees, and you get Xfinity's best equipment included. Take it from me, a lot can change in 5 years. Championships are won, football teams get good, records are broken, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it should stay reliable, and the price should stay put. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. All right, we are back on CHGO Blackhawks. A little bit of news from this game, and we were waiting to talk about it because we were waiting to see what Jeff Blashill had to say. Teuvo Teravainen left the game after the first period. The news is upper body injury. Blashill says they'll know more on Wednesday, so wasn't sure if he started feeling ill too and left, but no, apparently Teuvo suffered an upper body injury, so obviously not good news there. I thought he had been having a really nice game up until that point. And has had, after his streak of really, really frustrating hockey he had after the jaw injury and maybe the few games before that, I feel like his game has been turning around a lot lately. He's been playing better.
Yeah, and Teuvo is, kind of that guy where the points come in bunches, but he does a lot of the stuff away from the puck that you don't necessarily notice. That's important. But like he'll get the assists in bunches. He scored goals in back-to-back games when he had the power play goals. So he's been that way his whole career. But yeah, he has played better late. It took him a little while to, he had the jaw, and then didn't something else happen to him after that? It hurt, like took a shot off the foot or something. He had a rough few games
it was a tough stretch there. Yeah.
He's looked good playing with Moore and Lardis, and
I like that line a lot.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see Wednesday at practice what we have, but
so Burakovsky stepped in when Teuvo went down. Burakovsky, Moore, and Lardis, 9 shot attempts for, 1 against.
Well, they were the one line that actually had the puck.
That is a 90% Corsi rating.
I didn't even have to look at the website to figure that out.
Like that line looked really good, and to me, you look at Dickinson, Mikheyev, and Slaggert for what they were up against tonight, matched against Connor McDavid. Yeah, Dickinson's a -2, but McDavid has 3 points, his 81st point of the season. Holy crap.
He's on pace for 143 points. Is that good?
Yes. 2 goals against the side. A solid game for those 3. But, man, every time Moore and Lardis were on the ice together, they were flying. And Oliver Moore, man, he's better more quickly than I expected. I thought we were going to have a lot of growing pains with Oliver Moore. I'm struggling to find much to complain about with him. Not that I'm ever seeking to complain about a guy, but you think like, hey, you know, a middle of the first round pick, not someone that's expected to come to the NHL and make an impact immediately. He's been really good. Like when you watch Oliver Moore, like what are the things you're like, he really needs to get better at these things aside from finishing,
scoring?
That's it. But he's got 5 goals.
Yeah. I mean, the move to center has done wonders for him. It's really upped his game.
He's got 14 points in 34 games.
Yeah, he's been good. And he's getting better. That's what you want to see. He's getting more confident with every day, and he's out there making plays, and he's mixing it up. And hey, he in the final 2 minutes, he won 3 straight faceoffs from Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
When they were chasing a goal. 3 in a row, 1-on-1 with Connor McDavid, one of the best centers in the game, and won 3 in a row. Fortunately, the one he lost, the next shift, it wasn't to McDavid, it was to somebody, not Connor McDavid. It was, I believe it was
right before the empty netter.
I think it was Roslovic beat him on and then it led directly to the empty net goal. Or no, it was Hyman, because Hyman got the assist on it. So, but Oliver Moore has been a solid pick. Like you see, and it was flashes before, but now you're seeing it throughout entire games. You see the traits of why Kyle Davidson was trying to trade up to get him back in 2023, and then was very happy when he fell to him. You're seeing those traits. He's he's got that north-south style. He's got that speed that you need so desperately to win in this league. And now he's starting to show, him and Lardis have chemistry. They seem to know where each other are going to be on the ice at all the time. And that's huge, especially going forward. If that could be, how many times have we said, over the past couple of years that you don't necessarily have lines, you have duos. You find 3 or 4 duos, and then that third guy is. So if Lardis and Moore is one of your duos for the next few years, you take it.
Sure.
Even if it's third line, in 3 years.
Well, look, the hope is that you're good enough to the point where your third line is a line you can also count on for scoring.
You have to.
You know what I mean? Like that's what contenders do.
You have to. You have to be able to roll 4 lines. Your fourth line, you don't necessarily depend on for goals, but if you can get 15, 20 goals out of your fourth line over the course of the year, that's what the good teams do. You just can't have 2 lines and expect to win. Edmonton Oilers.
They gotten pretty close. When you got 97 out there,
true.
I have to tell you, in all my years, as I turn into Hawk Harrelson here, that guy terrifies me as an opponent more than anyone I've ever seen.
He's just
every time he's on the ice,
good.
he's a threat to score.
He's so good. They showed that play, I believe it was in the early third period, where he gets the puck over the blue line, stops on a dime, keeps the puck in the zone, gets Landon Slager draped over his shoulders with his stick in between, and just nonchalantly moves the puck around and then goes.
Yeah.
Like he just, what he does is freakish. He's so good at everything.
Because I don't think there's anyone more like hands vision skilled than Wayne Gretzky. I don't think there's a more complete package in terms of physical size with skill than Mario Lemieux. But McDavid he's not quite as big and physical as Mario, but he can fight. Lemieux, not Tirabassi. He can fight off a check, right? We've seen him do it a million times.
Yeah.
He's got the hands of Gretzky with like the speed of Pavel Bure. It's crazy. He is like, you take these pieces of every great player ever and you build Connor McDavid.
He's like a Frankenstein of Hall of Famers.
I do not think it is out of the question. He's not going to catch Gretzky in points, but I think that there will be an argument when his career is over that he is like the second best player ever. I think that is on the table.
It is. He's going to have to win some cups, though, unfortunately.
I think so. You're right.
That's why I want him to the
Hawks. When the Hawks are fully real,
that's why I want him to get. That's why I wanted him to get one of the last 2, just so
Yeah, just to
There's
silence
not
him.
that asterisk that you won't have those people. He's not Dan Marino. Oh, great player, never won a championship.
Never won a big game.
So that nullifies everything he ever did.
Right.
He needs to win a couple cups, but I agree with you. Connor McDavid is one of the best hockey players I have ever seen with my own 2 eyes in person.
Yeah.
It's just amazing what he does.
His playoff stats too are not nothing to sneeze at. He's got 150 points in 96 games.
But he didn't score 3 goals in Game 7. He's a bum.
Yeah, exactly. All right. How long's Nick Foligno? We got time to play it?
About 6'2".
All right. Let's wow, that's long. Let's play Nick Foligno, and then we're going to get to Mario Tirabassi on the other side of the break. Here we go.
Yeah, good assessment. I mean, that's exactly just, no excuse for it, right? So that's it's disappointing against a team where you know you have to be detailed and ready. They just got to their game better than we did, and we were just off by everything. Passes, shots, plays, simple plays that we've made. So disappointing, but I liked how we answered and pushed back, but you can't spot a team game like that and expect to win.
I know you guys hate excuses, but I got to imagine the room's pretty depleted right now. It's hard to come back after a day or two of being sick. And
yeah, everyone faces it. It's a reality, obviously. You know, no one's Superman. You're obviously not going to feel great, but I told guys the last time you feel great in the NHL is your first game. Really. So it's a hard league. It's a league that you have to find your game regardless of how you feel. You know, no one feels good, especially this time of year. So regardless of that, it's creating your own energy, creating your own motivation to do the things well. So if you don't have your game, it's simplifying. It's not making the plays we were making today, right? It's making it a little bit easier on yourself so that your game can kind of come to you, and especially against a team like that.
Spencer seemed to keep you into the show.
Yeah, outstanding. Especially him playing. Okay, there's your excuse coming back from being sick. Why the hell is he playing so well? So, he's been outstanding for us all year, and another reason why we were even in the game today.
When Connor was out hurt, it seemed like you guys found an identity without him. Was it harder to get back to that identity when maybe it wasn't, you didn't know in advance that he wasn't going to be available?
No, I mean, that's always, you obviously would prefer Connor in the lineup. We prefer Frank in the lineup. We prefer any of our great players in the lineup. But, the reality is when you don't have them, you just come together. It's almost a game where you tighten up and do it for them, right? And do it for each other, or you play the right way. And today we just allowed them to get to their game right away, right? Like we didn't make them hard on them. They were getting passes to the slot. That's not like us, right? We're a team that really protects the middle well, makes it really hard to get through. We're fast. We didn't look as fast as we needed to be. So, it's all those things that rolled into one. And the good side is we find a way to get one and kind of almost turn the tides. But again, against a team like that, you just can't play 40 minutes or 35 minutes. You got to find a way to play a full game. And, we expect more of ourselves right now with the position that we put ourselves in. I think there's an expectation now of finding a way to be that team consistently. So that's what disappoints you. But we're good about just turning the page and learning from this, and we'll have a good day of practice on Wednesday and get ready to go.
All right, there's Nick Foligno. As you could predict, no excuses from him. And makes a good point. Like, everyone feels like crap right now. It's January. We're halfway through the season. Everyone's beat up. The flu's not just in Chicago. It's everywhere. And Spencer Knight, he was sick, played great. So he's not wrong. He's not wrong about that. A little bit of news before we get to Mario here. Braden Point of the Lightning, winners of 10 straight.
10 in a row.
Helped off the ice today. So if you were looking
after scoring a power play goal.
Yeah.
He scored a power play goal and his knee got rolled up underneath.
He's no Kyle Palmieri.
No.
That was right there. But if you were looking, not that we ever wish ill on anyone, if you were looking for an Olympic opportunity for Connor Bedard, Braden Point being unavailable might be it.
That fits the style. I know when, Tom Wilson got hurt against the Blackhawks, but that's a Sam Bennett.
That's a Sam Bennett, right?
You want to, if a, grinder fourth line, at least for the Olympic, goes out, you want to replace him with somebody who plays the same style. Braden Point, Connor Bedard.
Sounds about right to me.
That could be your chance, depending on, how serious it is. But it didn't look good. But we've seen injuries not look good in the past, and they turn out to be okay. But, that could be a chance. Something to definitely monitor. But how about the Lightning, man? 10 in a row. And they've had a ton of injuries.
See what happens? You get rid of Jeff Blashill?
Yeah. Mikhail Sergachev was right.
Yeah, exactly.
Putts.
They're really good. It's a good team, good organization.
I mean, it looks like there's
Good coach.
It looks like there's going to be a 7th straight Stanley Cup final getting played in the state of Florida this
Seriously.
year.
Could be.
Everybody ready
You're
to
get
write
swept
them
by
off.
the Avalanche.
Everybody was Avalanche going to lose in the first round. Dallas, you watch.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. Mario is standing by. We have not talked about the 5.5-minute shift from Artyom Levshunov yet, but Jeff Blashill has, and we're going to hear that, among other things, next on CHGO Blackhawks. Whether it's on the field or in your financial life, the best teams win by delivering excellence at every level. At Old National Bank, they believe every play matters, from everyday checking to long-term planning and commercial banking. Their team is here to build momentum and help you move the ball forward. So whether you're celebrating a win, rebuilding after a tough loss, or gearing up for whatever comes next, they've got your back at Old National with tools, guidance, and an expert crew that's always in your corner. And I can vouch for the people at Old National Bank. Went through one of life's many transitions this summer, losing my father. He was a customer at Old National Bank, and they handled everything with class. They made me feel cared about and taken care of, and I could not be more thankful to the people at Old National Bank. And because of their service, I became a customer myself. You should do the same. Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter, and Old National Bank is a member FDIC. And if you're looking to become a better man, a better husband, a better father, whatever it might be, or you're just looking for some peak performance, Game Day Men's Health wants to support every man's health journey through personalized care tailored to your goals. It's a very quick and easy process. You'll be in and out of one of their clinics in under an hour, and those clinics are family-owned, they're locally owned, and they specialize in personalized care with an extremely high rate of success. You're going to feel better, and you're going to have more energy with testosterone, vitamin supplements, weight loss, and hair loss treatments. Start your best life with our friends at Game Day Men's Health. We're all trying to be better for our kids, for our wives, for our family, for everybody that cares about us. So do yourself a favor. Take care of yourself at Game Day Men's Health. You can just scan that QR code that's on your screen right now, or go visit GameDayCHGO.com to find the Game Day Men's Health locations closest to you. Take care of yourself. Visit our friends at Game Day Men's Health. All right, we are back on CHGO Blackhawks. We're going to bring Mario in one moment, but we want to let you know about our ongoing Die Hard sale. $36 for the whole year in honor of the Bears playoff run.
Bears.
You're going to get that free shirt, and these new designs are awesome. The great one, GRATE, with Caleb, or a Caleb-like figure shredding a cheese-like material with a cheese grater type contraption.
I don't think it's the cheese that's going to get you in copyright problems.
And the it's always FGB design with more cheese being grated.
Cheese.
Those are awesome. And then we've got the new playoff shirts. I have that Iceman 18 one coming with the old Icy logo. I love
cool.
that one. Very, very cool. So become a diehard today to save on all these things, and you'll get one of them for free when you sign up. $36 for the year. All right, enough blather. Let's go out to United Center and bring in Mario Tirabassi, who I believe is still in full control of his stomach. Things good so far?
I mean, it was chicken noodle soup tonight, so we'll see.
Hell, because of there's gluten in noodles.
Yeah, it's a gluten joke.
Did I see you eating some Italian pasta salad too?
It was potato salad.
It was potato salad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, we're
Just
totally
living dangerously.
No gluten in mayonnaise. We're good.
Yeah, that's true.
We have not talked yet about the Levshunov shift, the 5.5-minute thing, and I know Blashill talked about it, but I felt awful for him, and I'm going to go back and watch the tape probably tonight or tomorrow to see, was there an opportunity, because he's out there for the full 2 for the power play, and then as the right defenseman in the second period, he's got the long change. So it's harder for him to get off the ice than anybody else because they're on the left side. If you're TV broadcast, the Hawks are defending the left side of the rink. The Hawks are the right bench on the left side of the ice, and he just did not have an opportunity to get off the ice. 5.5 minutes.
Longest shift in the NHL this season.
And someone in the chat said the record was like 6:02.
I should have went
He
for
should have
it.
stayed.
Go big or go home, Artie. Come on.
But you saw him at one point. They had an opportunity to clear, and I think it might have been Mikheyev, and the puck was coming to Levshunov. He's like, "You take it, get it out." He was trying to signal like I got nothing left. Then they ice it, and he's hands on his knees, just sucking wind. Man, he battled. He battled through that 5.5 minutes. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, it was quite the extended shift, and he, I mean, not only battling the energy levels, but also like there were a couple plays where he was called on to make a stop and make a, just tie up a stick or, try and get a puck deflection, like, and he was able to do it for the most part. So, Blashill talked about that and about the getting these young guys the experience in the NHL also comes with experience of how to change in those situations. So here's what he had to say.
We talked about it, like was there opportunities to change? One of the things I think we're trying to help the young players is learning how to change. Man, it wasn't a lot. There might have been one chance where he could have sprinted to the bench, but we all got to be careful of that because we don't want him sprinting to the bench, giving up a 2-on-1. So, the power play was just such a weird power play. We were all over him at the end there. He had a real chance, so it's just a hard opportunity to change. And then once we got in our zone, we had the puck on our stick a couple times. We got to find a way to get it down the ice, to get it to the red and get it down the ice. We didn't do that. So he kind of was a little bit of victim of circumstance in that shift.
That's kind of what I expected to hear from him. I didn't see anything out there like in years past. We would see Connor Bedard at the end of a shift maybe take a chance that would get himself in trouble. I didn't see Levshunov doing anything like that. I just really think a chance to leave did not present itself because the power play had a huge factor. They didn't get the puck in his zone until a minute in. It's like 1:09. He was on the first power play unit as the point man. So they finally get in his zone after a minute, and then they held it. They had it in the zone that whole minute, and then it's another 3.5.
Well, that power play also, because of that, and then they held it in. Oliver Moore and Nick Lardis didn't step on the ice that entire power play. So we got 2 minutes of Ryan Donato and Colton Dock on the power play. Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that power play, once they got it set up with the minute and 10, it was a minute and 10 of attack. And it was actually a pretty impressive effort from Connor Ingram on the PK. He stuffed a bunch of chances on that power play. So, I mean, it was an extended period of time for Levshunov. And as Blashill said, like the opportunities to change weren't necessarily there because when they did get possession of the puck in their D zone to transition out of the D zone and, get into the neutral zone, you can't just flip it out and take the icing because then that doesn't help anybody get off the ice. They weren't able to get it to a spot in the offensive zone where you felt comfortable enough for Levshunov to get across the ice and get off the ice. And that was a theme throughout the night with the offensive zone opportunities and the time that the guys had tonight and start off the game. I mean, it was basically survival mode that first majority of the first period from the Blackhawks as the Oilers just dominated possession. They were playing with speed. They were playing with crisp passes. Like everything just seemed to work for them. And the Blackhawks were just on their heels. And, Blashill talked about that start to the game and how even though as the game went on and things got better, the reason that you're coming out with a loss tonight is that, try and put excuses aside, they weren't able to put together a 60-minute effort. Here's what he had to say about the game.
You guys said?
Well, to start. So my whole take on the game was the first 15 minutes of the first, they dominated us. The first 5 minutes of the second, they took it to us. Spencer kept us in it through that stretch. I thought the last 5 of the first and the rest of the game we were not bad, and then we were really good in the third. So we didn't. Unfortunately, the game isn't 40 minutes long; it's 60. And we've talked about it being an every night league, and part of an every night league is, it's 60-minute game, sometimes 65, and you got to make sure that you're at, as close to your best as you can. And unfortunately, to start the game, we were nearly close to our best. And listen, you're not going to be perfect every night, but you have to be better than that, and they were on top of their game for sure. They were flying. So got to do a better job of that. Like I said, we'll take tomorrow off. We have a lot of games through the month, so we're going to kind of manage practice times. We'll hopefully have a good practice on Wednesday, come back Thursday.
It's been the message a lot for this team, and I think that comes with the territory of being young. At the same time, I look around who I thought just, eye test were the most effective players on the Hawks today, and most of them were pretty young.
Yeah, a lot of the young guys are stepping up in these opportunities, and over the last couple of games, over the last month, really, since Connor Bedard's been out, it's been Bertuzzi, Lardis, Moore, Ryan Green. Even though he's not finding the back of the net, he's making opportunities for himself or other guys to get there. Andre Burakovsky had a pretty good night tonight. So those are the guys that you want to be able to consistently lean on, even when Connor Bedard and Frank Nazar are here. But especially when they're out, like, those are the guys that you want to see step up. And yeah, tonight, like, those young guys, they were able to, create some opportunities. And, Jeff Blashill, at the first week of his job here in Chicago, he talked about the privileges of power play and penalty kill and being 5-on-6, 6-on-5 and everything. And those are the guys that were out there at the end of the game, 6-on-5. It was Bertuzzi, it was Moore, it was Lardis. Those were the guys that tonight he called on to, when they were trying to tie it up at 2-1, those are the guys he was going to.
Yeah, and he deserved it. And I think, as Greg pointed out earlier, 3 big faceoffs won by Oliver Moore from Connor McDavid with the game on the line. Like, that's the stuff you love to see. And I'm glad that Blashill has been pretty to his word about guys having to earn their opportunities. And, the second power play unit, I guess, I don't know how he ranks them, but, as Greg said, like, the Lardis and Moore combo didn't get out for the power play, but he must have liked the way the other guys were playing and put him out there. So I like that he has kind of created an internal reward system for the guys he thinks are playing well. And to me, it's a super positive sign that Moore, and especially Nick Lardis, who I think a lot of us have sort of written off as like, well, he's going to be one-dimensional. He's not going to play much defense. And, I mean, he's not going to be a Selke candidate by any means, but he has shown a willingness to engage from the second he stepped on the United Center ice and put a Hawks jersey on. So I've been incredibly impressed with those two, especially lately, and just the young guys in general on this team have really stepped up and have earned opportunities to be there when it matters, instead of just relying on the same vets all the time.
Well, I think that second power play unit was the one that got the first opportunity in I think it was the third period penalty, the one that Foligno drew with the tripping, I think it was. That was the Moore Lardis Foligno Grizzlick combo. They were out there first. So yeah, I mean, it's I think when you don't have Connor Bedard, you clearly don't have an A and a B power play unit. You have 2 power play units that you can go to pretty much interchangeably. But when Bedard is here, that changes things. But I think what you've seen from those guys, Moore and Lardis, and the chemistry that they had to start the season in Rockford, once they both got here, it quickly rekindled. And that's why that duo has worked as a forward line, and especially with Teuvo Teravainen, like, that seemed to be pretty, clicking pretty well. So hopefully Teuvo's not out anything long term, so that trio can hopefully get back and be reliable for as long as 2 of those 3 guys are still here.
Yeah, and I think Burakovsky stepped in, as we mentioned earlier, admirably with 9-1 shot attempt advantage with Moore, Lardis, and Burakovsky. So he is one of our Game Puck nominees. I feel like he has stepped up lately. It's a bit of a concern for the little stretch, like first when Bedard was out, he was not noticeable at all. But I feel like he's gotten a kick in the pants somewhere. I know they just had a baby, and to us it feels like forever ago, but it was like a month ago. It's still pretty fresh for the Burakovsky family. But I think over the last 4 or 5 games, I think he's elevated his game a lot.
Is the haircut?
Yeah.
It could be buzzcut Berkey. We had Bubble Bedard, and now buzzcut Burakovsky. That could be a thing.
Let's make a shirt out of it if there's time.
I don't know.
Maybe
he'd have to get traded to the Bears.
That's true. We could combo it. Burakovsky.
Burakovsky.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I've heard it pronounced that way.
Yes.
But Blashill did talk about not having Bedard and the challenges of, again, going into a game where at morning skate you kind of knew what to expect, and then you get to the arena and it's not what you expect. And Ben Pope asked about the identity of the team that they had without Bedard around, and then that transitioned to me asking about the offensive zone opportunities that they had, especially when the Oilers had them on their heels for a majority of the game. So here's what Blashill had to say about the identity of the team tonight.
Get back to the identity without him tonight.
Well, I just think, let's forget probably the X's and O's and the kind of, identity piece to start. You got to win puck battles, puck races to have any chance, and we just didn't do that early. So you're going to have zero identity when you don't do that. So because of that, we didn't spend any time in the O zone. I thought as we went through the third period, we did a lot of things that we want to do, and we were much better. I think a lot of guys honestly just raised their game, but. You're gonna have those short spurts. It's something we want to make sure we have a hard middle drive. We want to make sure that we're making plays when they're there. If not, we're predictable to each other, so we can be first touch, so we can be on top of them if they get first touch in a good forecheck situation. And we were kind of on our heels to start because we weren't on top of our game.
When you're in a game like that where you're not getting a lot of offensive zone time opportunities, when you do get the puck in the offensive zone, do you want them to be more selective to avoid being like one and done shots on goal?
I would say certainly more selective in forced plays, maybe more than shots. I think most shots are good shots if there's any kind of traffic. I mean, if there's nobody in front of the net, then you got to be a little bit more selective. But definitely in terms of forced plays, I think there was chances where we could have kind of made them, kind of ground them a little bit more, and we forced some stuff, which then goes back the other way. So, but part of playing good hockey is you shoot it and you got to be able to recover it. You have to, and that's winning those puck races and puck battles.
Yep.
And that's how the Hawks scored their lone goal tonight off the rebound.
I mean, broken record from him, from us. It's whatever. Look, I think every hockey fan has been to a game and screamed to shoot at some point in your life. But it is never. I think here it is a little bit more pronounced lately because there have been a lot of. I'm not going to get over the Ryan Donato falling on his face instead of shooting.
I
can't.
I turned to you in the press box after the play and said, "I could do that for $4 million.
You could.
I could definitely
do it for
that.
less than $4 million.
I'll take $40 and go out there and do that."
Oh Lord.
Yeah, he looked like our old friend Colin Blackwell out there.
Oh man, remember him?
He looked worse than Colin Blackwell.
Yeah, that play was.
Because with Colin Blackwell, you almost expected him to fall down, but he fell down because he was trying so hard.
Right. He just overskated his feet.
Donato was trying pretty hard on that one, trying too hard, I think, on that one.
I'm going to try to do the old. People call it the Solane. It is actually the Zhamnov. He did it first.
Oh yeah, of course.
But
he was trying to be somebody.
Or the Forsberg. I mean, sorry.
He's trying to be somebody.
He's not.
That he's not.
Correct.
So just be Ryan Donato.
Yes, that would be great because it was great last year.
As we said earlier, you had Nick Foligno coming on the wing. Just throw the puck at the pads. Foligno will be there for the rebound. Like, don't be fancy. It's Connor Ingram. Shoot the puck.
Yeah. All right, we're going to let you go because we're late. Thanks, Mario.
All right, see you guys tomorrow.
All right, we'll talk to Mario at 3 tomorrow on CHGO Blackhawks. We got to hit the break zone. A couple things to get to when we get back. We got to go to the frat house. We also want to talk about a Hawk killer that was honored tonight. All that and more coming up next. Let's get to 100 likes, please. We're only at 93. We got way more than that watching. Let's get over that 100 hump. We'll be back in 2 minutes. New vehicles are in store at Ray, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, and this is your chance to score a great deal at the Ray Resolution Sales Event. Head to Ray CDJR on Route 12 today to choose from their huge inventory of new Chryslers, Dodges, Jeepsons, and Rams' vehicles. And right now, get 0% financing for 72 months, plus no payments until spring on new Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram models. Plus, shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. And with a friendly team of brand experts, the team at Ray CDJR is here to help you during each step of your car buying journey. Plus, since they prioritize affordability, you know you won't overpay for the vehicle you need. Go check out our partner today to shop one of the Chicago area's largest inventories. Find the right new vehicle for you and drive home happy. The team at Ray CDJR is the only one we recommend. For more info, visit Ray CDJR today on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online at raycdjr.com. They've been serving the community since 1963, and there is nothing better than attending an NHL game. And if you're looking to score a great deal on an NHL game, the Game Time app is giving you, the fan, the advantage back. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. It's super easy to use, and the Game Time guarantee means you can trust you're going to get real 100% on authentic tickets on time and at the best price. We love that fees are always included, so you see the ticket is $50. You're going to go to checkout. It's not going to be $80 when you're checking out like some other places. No, transparent pricing. It's what you want. And maybe you're a fan that likes to go to opposing arenas. You want to know what the view is from no seats. Get a panoramic view from your seat before you buy. Take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use our code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Redeem code CHGO for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. All right, we are back on CHGO Blackhawks. Thanks for getting us over the 100 mark. We can use more. We don't have to stop at 100. That's for sure. Sarah, are we ready to enter the frat house on Madison? Let's do it. Love this music. So good. If I heard this music in a club, I would immediately leave.
I guarantee you this is the kind of music that Artyom Levshunov has blasting out of his car as he pulls up the United Center.
100%. Well, here was his night, 24-33. Much of that in one shift. 6 hits, 5 shots on goal. Really liked his game today. As always, got some already adventures, but 6 hits stands out to me.
Career high.
Physical. And I saw him engage with McDavid a couple times. Maybe he's taken that as the, I'm going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass to play against and annoy some people. Taking on that, not that they're the same player. Hopefully he's a lot better than him. But Nikita Zadorov was a guy who sort of reveled in that. I'm going to be a pain in your ass the entire game. And also defend pretty well. Levshunov should be a much better offensive and defensive player than Nikita Zadorov when it's all said and done. But I like that he is kind of hopefully picking up that a little bit of that troll element too.
Yeah, there was the 6 hits was nice to see where he's, realizing, hey, I'm a big, strong dude.
Yes, he is.
I should use it to my advantage. I know there's a couple other big, strong dudes that people want to see do that too, but apparently it's just not part of their game. So it's good to see Artie use that speed and that strength to his advantage. There was a shift early in the first period, about 2 minutes into the game. Behind the play, he put Matthew Savoy. See, I always get screwed up.
Yeah, he is Savoy.
He's Savoy. Put him down behind the play, kind of got the crowd going. It was a big hit. And then, moments later, there's a 2-on-1 coming back the other way, and he laid out and broke up the pass and prevented the scoring chance. And that was a shift that he actually got stuck on the ice for 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So almost 8 minutes of his 24 minutes came on 2 shifts, almost a third of his time.
That's crazy.
Came up. But then there was a play, minute to go in the first period. Evan Bouchard, who was allowed to just skate freely for that first goal, was coming up the middle ice, and he put his shoulder, popped him, put him on his butt. It was another nice play there. So Arty Levshunov was definitely noticeable tonight for both sides of the puck. Most of the time, it's the offensive side that we're raving about, but he played very well without the puck and in his own zone tonight as well. And then he had that great chance on the power play that Ingram barely got with the glove. Really good game. Every night you see something more from him, and it's super encouraging that he's halfway through his first full season and is the Blackhawks' #1 defenseman right now.
I don't think there's much question about it.
Look at the ice time from the last 10 games.
And just for the record, too, Vlasic and Crevier combined for 1 hit. I mean, that's It's hard to do.
I know.
And I know hits are a relative stat, but it doesn't look like whoever was keeping the stats tonight was shy about handing them out.
Well, here my thing, and I think Vlasic had a pretty good game overall.
Yeah,
he was out there against McDavid all night, and early in the game he was, using his reach and his stick to help get the puck off McDavid's stick. But that first goal was the Hyman goal. I know that's Hyman's bread and butter. That's what he does. Dude, you're so much bigger than Zach Hyman.
Yeah.
Knock him at those. That's the exact play that Jeff Blashill was talking about a couple weeks ago when he said, I wouldn't mind if Vlasic took a couple cross-checking penalties. That's the situation where you just take your stick, you put it in his ribs, and you move him. If you take a 2-minute penalty, that's fine. That's better than giving up a goal at the doorstep, because the Blackhawks PK, 0 shots on goal in 4 minutes against the league's number 1 power play. 0 shots on goal. Take the 2 minutes in that situation.
That's right. And
take the cross check, and then maybe make Zach Hyman think twice about getting in that spot again, because his ribs still hurt from the last time.
Yeah, when that rich bastard thinks about going to the crease, that one rich hockey player.
Another quick Hyman thought. I did love the fact that him and shut up, Red
What?
Rock.
I'm looking forward to your thoughts.
My Zach Hyman thought. I thought it was cool that he and Nick Lardis took a picture.
Yeah, that was
during
cool.
warm-up, because if you don't know, Zach Hyman is part owner of the Brantford Bulldogs, where Nick Lardis scored every single goal for that team last season.
Yes, he did. All right, before we leave, by the way, just one last note on Levshunov. When you see a young player picking up hit numbers like that, to me, that is a big sign of confidence.
He's playing instinctual hockey.
Yeah.
That's what the coaching staff has been trying to drag out of him all season, and for the last 10 to 12 games, that's what they're getting, and they're reaping the rewards from it. He's been so damn good.
Because when you watch the Michigan State highlights,
that's what he
like if you watch the highlight reel, it's like hit, goal, pass, hit,
everywhere
goal, pass,
on the ice.
hit. Yeah, right.
He's on, and that we're starting to see that, where he's just like, you're watching a play and like, oh, there's 55. Where did he come from? Like, that you're starting to see that on a nightly basis, and it's awesome. He's so much fun.
One thing I want to mention tonight, Detroit retired the number of Sergei Fedorov. And we've had shows in the summers where we talk about, like, who's a guy in a team you hate that you really liked? The answer to that question for me is always Sergei Fedorov. That guy was complete player. I think to the average, like, oh, I enjoy hockey. People don't know how great of a defender he was.
2-time Selke winner.
Like, he played defense for the Blue Jackets at some point. But just a top-notch scorer, and in an era of hockey where like individuality was more frowned upon than ever, he stood out as a guy with like some swagger. He wore the white Nike skates, like that From Russia with Love poster he had with him with like 2 girls on his shoulder. He was
that was even before Anna Konikova.
Yes, he was just a cool hockey player, and it really hard for me to dislike, despite the fact that he stuck it to the Hawks over and over and over again.
Did dislike him because he was a Red Wing.
Yeah, it's like an envious dislike, right?
Yeah, it was one of those. Was like, can't you play for any other team except the Red Wings or the Blues, and then I'd like you,
right?
But he was a team that, like, he was a guy that when he moved on to the Ducks and then the Blue Jackets, I forgot he played with the Caps with Ovechkin for the season. Then you got to like him a little better, but at that point, his best years were far behind.
Yeah.
But he was so much fun to watch on those Red Wings teams, but it was hate watching because I hated those teams with a passion. But such a freak of nature. The fastest player in the league for many, many years, because he came in when the league was still not built on speed like it is today. Like a guy with his speed.
It was like the no 2-line pass era.
Yeah, like a guy with his speed today, every team's got about 4 or 5 of those guys. Back then, there was not many, and definitely not that had that kind of speed, that kind of offensive skill. Scored over 30 goals multiple times in his career, 56 goal season in 93, 94, but then was just a badass defensive player.
Yeah,
and you had said before the game, someone had asked you if you can comp him to a player in the league. I can't.
I can't think
I
of
can
anyone like
mold
Fedorov.
two players together and say that's him. Like if you put Alexander Barkov and Connor McDavid together, maybe you get
or like Hossa with wheels.
Yeah, like
Hossa with like Oliver Moore speed.
Yeah, that's good. Like I mean, like he was such a one of a kind player, especially at that time in the 90s. It wasn't about speed; it was about Eric Lindros and being big power forwards. And this guy just skated. He had rocket skates on. Like,
yes, he did.
He just skated past everybody. Him and Pavel Bure were so much fun to watch. You know, those first crop of Russian players were so good. Fedorov and Bure and Alexander McGinley, those were just ridiculously good players that I don't think to this day get enough credit.
But finally McGinley's in the Hall of Fame. We're in overtime, by the way. If you're watching on one of the fast channels, switch over to allchgo.com to continue watching the show. We got to do our game pucks, but before we do, a couple of people in the chat. JK Watch Fan says his was Forsberg. I love Forsberg, and I didn't hate the Avalanche because the Avalanche hated the Red Wings.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Exactly.
The Avalanche for the late 90s, early 2000s during the Cup runs were my playoff team because the Blackhawks weren't there.
Well, Joe Sakic freaking broke my heart several times, but that triple overtime elimination, Jeremy Roenick's last game as a Hawk, I was there for that. That was rough.
I loved
to me, it was a
Sakic
respect
and
of that team is awesome.
I mean, Sakic was, what we got to enjoy for Jonathan Taves. He was that kind of player. That he wore number 19 because of that. But Forsberg was so good, and Forsberg was just sneaky dirty.
Oh yeah,
sometimes not that sneaky.
No, not that sneaky.
But like Peter Forsberg was just. Oh man, he was so good. I loved those Avalanche teams.
And now he looks like a 70s porn producer. Have you seen him lately?
I have not.
Oh my God. He's wearing like the aviators with like the gold tint.
So he looks like
and like the wide open shirts, and
so he looks like Patrick Laine, what you're saying.
Yeah, but handsome.
Oh, okay.
Nothing against Patrick Laine, but not traditionally handsome.
I thought you were more into Finns than Swedes.
No. All right, we're gonna wrap things up, but first, our Game Day Men's Health Game Puck winner is Spencer Knight. 71% of the vote. Better father, better husband, better man. Go to Game Day Men's Health. Visit GameDayCHGO.com to find locations closest to you. We are going to be back tomorrow at 3. No practice, so expect a mailbag show. We have not done one in weeks. So we'll get to some of your mailbag questions and whatever other news pops up throughout the day. We'll be all over it. We'll talk to you then. 3 o'clock tomorrow on CHGO Blackhawks.
We all silly like the mayor.